blended soup, so it's not a chunky soup, which is great for having the asparagus. I've always typically had it like cooked in a baking pan, fried, so it's a different way to try it. So to get started, we're going to start off with our leeks. And so, has anyone eaten leeks here before? All right, does anyone know what leeks are?
Yes.
Leeks? Okay, yeah, I didn't know what they were, so I'll be honest. They're in the onion family, and I'm just going to set my saute pan to a medium and get it kind of warming up while I cut down. So I already cleaned these before, so when you want to clean leeks, they kind of look like a plant. They're like crazy looking, and they have these stalks, and the stalks is the part that we eat. So they're already a little bit pre-cut, so you'd want to cut the top off and the bottom off, and then you soak them in a bowl instead of putting them in a strainer, because that's going to get the dirt out from the layers. So they are in the onion family, so they're going to be layered and they can get dirt in there. So, so I already cut them in half. So you cut the end, cut the top, and then you slice them down the middle. And you want to make about like a crescent moon shape when you're doing these. So I will get started. And can anyone tell me how many cups of leeks I need for this recipe? It's on the paper. There's no 6 cups, exactly. Thank you for my helpers. So there's going to be 6 cups of leeks. And so like I said, leeks are in the onion family, and they actually have a little bit less flavor than an onion, so that's why we would use them instead of an onion. So we've tried onions in this recipe. It's very strong. This is more of like a subtle taste, which is going to taste really good in this soup. Right. Yeah, you probably already smell them. They do make my eyes water a little bit, so I promise I'm not crying. So I just have my 1 cup measuring cup. I'm going to measure out my leeks. All right. And then I'm going to add my oil. So I pre-measured everything, but if anyone wants to tell me, I believe it's a tablespoon of olive oil that we're going to add to this pan. And we're going to kind of just mix it all around. You want to evenly distribute the oil so that it cooks evenly. And we're only going to saute these for about 5 minutes. So the reason we're going to saute them before we put them in the soup is it's actually going to bring out the flavor of the leeks a little bit more. So, good. A little tiny burner I got going on over here. And we'll measure these out. So has everyone here eaten asparagus before? Yeah. All right, so that seems to be a more common one. And then there's also going to be lentils in this recipe. Has anyone had lentils before? Okay, no. So the leeks are the new one. You've never had lentils? All right, well this will be your first time. And then we're going to let that saute that. So can someone set a 5-minute timer for me? Does anyone mind doing that? Before I showed this to you guys, I cleaned them already and I cut off just the woody end, so like that white part. But for this recipe, typically what you would do if you're eating it raw, you would bend it, and where it breaks, this is the soft part that you'd want to eat raw. This is that wood hardy part. But we're making a blended soup, so it's okay. It's not super soft when you're eating it. So when you're cutting them, you want to cut them about 1 inch in pieces. So it's about 1 inch. And I believe, is it 5 cups of asparagus for this recipe? Yes. All right, thank you. I've only made it like 100 times now, but right. So it's okay if they're not exactly the same. Yes, so it's an asparagus leek lentil soup. Age of asparagus. It's actually very good. It tasted very different than I expected it to. So I'm just going to start measuring that out, and then I'm going to put it in my bowl for later. We're going to turn this up a tiny bit so those leeks cook a little faster. All right, so this one we need 5.
6 weeks.
That's what they're my grandparents right there. They asked me the same thing. So I am a dietitian student. So we work in all different areas. So this is my community rotation. So we kind of go out in the community. We teach them how to like include more fruits and vegetables, how to eat healthy. So I worked a lot, like the poster in front. I helped develop posters like this, education on nutrition. I went to, are you from Westborough? Yeah. So do you know Vales? In session with the kids there. We did a cooking demo. We did some carrot fries. So that was really fun. And the kids loved it because they have a school garden there. Right, so attended the, I don't know exactly the name of it, but we were at the small business meeting last week where they kind of gave out the awards in the community. So that was really cool. I got to see a lot of the different businesses. And I visited a lot. Like I went to Cha Cha and Beans. They have really good tea. I'm a big tea person, so that was nice. But I'm from Western Mass. I'm from Belchertown. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of this. Okay, wow. I always say that. People are like, where's that? I'm like, UMass Amherst. But yeah, awesome. So I'm from Belchertown. Is that soup? Oh, perfect. All right, so while this is flakes, if you like a little bit of spice, it gives it some more flavor. All right, so can I see who wants pepper flakes? I'm going to do, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so we'll do quite a few. You want it extra spicy, let me know.
He does. I heard him say that.
No, I didn't say that.
He said he's lying.
So they'll get added in first. So this is the olive oil and the leeks. And like I said, we cook it to give it a little bit more flavor. And that's it. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add the asparagus. So we already measured that one out. We'll move this out of the way for now so you can see. Move this here. Actually, I have a dirty spoon. Now the broth, I believe, is at 6 cups.
Is it?
Someone wants to correct me? 6 cups? All right, so we're going to measure that out. This I did not pre-measure. We got 1 cup here. So we're just adding in all the ingredients here, and then we're going to let it simmer for a little bit. 3, 4. Does everyone here do cooking at home? 5. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to bring it to a boil first after we add all the ingredients, and then we're going to let it simmer. Tarragon before? No. Okay. No, okay. So this was my first time using ish taste, but what it does is it complements the woody flavor of the asparagus. So that's why we're using it in this soup.
Is it a spice or?
Is it spicy?
Is it spice?
No. Oh, it's an herb.
Oh.
Yeah. So but it's not spicy. That's why the pepper flakes make it a little bit spicier. All right. Like I said, so salt, pepper, tarragon. I'm gonna give it just a spin. I'm gonna add the lid, and we're gonna let it boil. And I'm gonna set timer. All right. So while that's cooking, I want to know, how did everyone like the soup?
I like it.
Onions are like more that onion flavor. You could do like half and half, but a direct, like if you do the exact same amount, it's gonna be very onion like strong. But that, yeah, I'm glad you guys like it. And you can have it with like bread. I think it's really good with bread. It's definitely better on a cold, rainy day. Like today's really hot and we're drinking hot soup, but I mean, not too bad. Yeah, glad everyone likes it. And is it your first time at the farm? I asked everyone a little bit earlier. Okay, yeah. And is it your first time as well? And are you all from Westborough? Okay, yeah. It's really nice here. I don't know if anyone knows, but they have like the pick your own fruits here. So they have like the strawberry picking, blueberry picking, flower picking, pretty much everything, which is awesome. So every season is different. So I believe June is when it will start and the first crop will be strawberries. So asparagus is in season right now, which is why we chose to do an asparagus soup. So it's really good to eat seasonal when you can, and of course local as well.
So is asparagus in the ground? Where are they?
Yeah, so the asparagus is in the ground, and I am not a farmer, so I'm not going to get the technical details from what I was taught because I'm not a farmer. But some of the asparagus here are like this fat coming out of the ground. They're very thick. And they just come right out. They kind of, it looks funny, like a little tree. But if you don't cut it in time, it will grow too high, and then it kind of turns, it almost looks like a stick or like a bush or a tree of some sort. Yeah. Pull it up about halfway, and I'll show you how we do it. We blend it a little bit, and then we're going to add it to a separate pot. K in it. It has some folate. It has fiber, so that's good for digestive health. So it has a lot of different like micronutrients. If you want to learn more about asparagus, there's a whole little flyer here, so it tells you like, as well. They're plant-based protein, so they have a little bit of protein in it too. Yeah. And then the leeks are in the onion family, and they tend to be good for like cholesterol and blood health. So yeah. Does everyone here like fruits and vegetables? Yeah. I mean, we are in a protein. Very beautiful. We originally came up with, okay, are we going to do a salad or are we going to do a soup? Because we had no idea what the weather was going to be like, and it looked not promising. So we wanted to do the soup, but then we lucked out. But still, a good day for soup. Always a good day for soup. But other things are, as much as we can get from the farm, we do.
What kind of lentils did you use?
So we used a red. You know what? I didn't put the lentils in.
Okay.
Good thing everyone's keeping me accountable. I was like, wow, that was not one less ingredient. All right, so the lentils cook really quick, so it's totally okay. And the soup didn't come to a boil yet. But this shows that, you know, even an experienced chef.
affect the taste?
No.
No.
No, we just need them to be tendered because it's going to be blended anyways. So, good question. The lentils are red lentils. And we're going to just put 1 cup in. So they cook, like I said, a lot quicker. What cooks the longest is the asparagus. And that's what takes the longest.
Could I just have sample the tarragon?
Yeah, of course. Right, we're going to add this in because it's better for the crops. I don't know why it's better for the crops. I just know it's better for the crops. I'm going to add this too much. Never cook, well, grilling of course, but just cooking.
So after it boils, you let it cool and then grind?
No, so we're gonna actually grind it hot,
Okay.
which is why I'm gonna explain. We're gonna start when we blend it. It will be low, and then we'll slowly increase the speed. This is a different blender than I typically use. This one has high and low, and that's it. The other one I use, I slowly turn it up because it is hot, so we want to do it at a slower to a fast pace. But again, it's gonna be going in a blender, so. You can also add pretty much anything you want to it, but yeah, everyone can take a look.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that I think it looks better blended, but and things like that. Yellow or yellow orange are your eyes, so like pink carrots are good for your eyes. So every color has different benefits, so that's why eating this we have some orange, we have some white. So white's good for blood health, and then we have some green, and green is good for fiber. It's good for digestive health, so all different stuff.
Could I put
Iron?
ham in there?
Maybe?
What? I don't know if I would put a meat. I would maybe do it as a side dish. I would cook like some chicken or something and put it on the side, just because I don't know how the meat would blend. I've never had a blended meat soup. Probably not my
Well, I wouldn't.
yums. So we're not going to get a lot of.
No hamburger over there?
We have. Well, I don't know if they're doing them today, but they do beet burgers. They do black bean burgers. I think they do have the black bean burgers. I had one yesterday and it was really good.
Yeah.
They're pretty good.
How about carrots?
I mean, you could experiment with it. I did have a carrot soup. I had a ginger and carrot soup. It was really good. I don't know how carrots would complement the taste. I will also admit I am not a chef, so I know what I'm making.
Yeah.
But I'm not really. I'm good at following recipes, not as good at creating them. But you can always experiment. For attending, and yeah, I hope you really like the soup and try it again. And if you want to try it, it's at the Veg Out food truck, and you can get it there.
Thank you.
You're welcome.